Good morning, everyone. And now we're going to go ahead and get started. Can someone do me a favor and with the mouse push the OK on the TV, please? Oh, it's a touch screen too?
He can reach it. Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You should have told me that. I was playing with me. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Community Advisory Board CAB for the AB 109 Public Alignment General Body Meeting. We will first start off by going over, so sorry. Good, okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us all today. We will first start off by going over who we are and our purpose before we start off with the meeting. So who we are the Community Advisory Board CAB on the Public Safety Realignment, which was established by the Community Correction Partnership, CCP Executive Committee to provide input on community needs. Now I'm going to go over our purpose, which is to provide input and feedback to the county on the AB 109 realignment implementation. We, the CAB, advise the county considerations of the role, scope, and impact of the criminal justice system on individuals, their families, and our local community by providing input on community needs, assess implementation of the AB 109 public safety realignment implementation, review data and outcome, advise the CCP on engagement within the community, offer recommendations regarding programs and services, and funding opportunities to better serve the reentry population. Now that we have covered who we are and our purpose, let's review some quick housekeeping items. So some housekeeping items that we will review and follow for those that are in the room and those that are in Zoom on how to provide public comment. For those in the public, please keep your participation on mute. For those on the phone or on Zoom, please star 6 to mute and unmute. We will hear comments from for items on the agenda. We will hear comments first from the board on all items discussed, and then we will open up to the public by raising your hand. So now, before we move into our agenda items for today, we always like to first start off with a motivational quote to set the atmosphere for our meeting. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Latanya.
Good morning. So I actually have 2 quotes, but the second is short.
Okay, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
It says, we cannot live only for ourselves. 1,000 fibers connect us with fellow man. The greatness of a community is most aptly measured by the compassion action of its members. One of the marvelous things about community is that it enables us to welcome and help people in a way we couldn't as individuals. The second quote. There is immense power with a group of people with similar interests get together to work towards the same goals.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now that we've done our motivation to get our blood going and get ready for the meeting, we're okay?
Yeah.
Move the pen
I asked her to put it on
to the left. You trying to remove the pen?
She's trying to, so we can
No, I'm just trying to
have
Oh,
a different
gallery,
format.
so you can see everybody online.
That better, Jill?
Yeah.
okay. We will now move into our agenda items for today. So the first agenda item is our welcome introductions and announcements. We're going to start with CAB members first. My name is Nicole Green. I'm sitting in for our chair, Ozzie Cotter. I am the vice chair for CAB, and I cover East County. And as you do your introduction, please state what county you cover. And I will go.
Good morning, Latanya Thompson, West County, and I am the chair for program and subcommittee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Robinson. I am representing Central County.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Curley, and I represent West County. On the side.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Marcus DeWall, and I'm representing East County.
Thank you.
Good morning. This is Brenda Lee, and I'm representing West County.
Good morning, my name is Rena Moore and I'm representing East County.
Thank you. We will now move to staff in the room first.
I am Jill Meredith, Office of Supervisor Candace Anderson.
Welcome, and we will, Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Tiffany and I with the Reentry Success Center.
Thank you, Tiffany. Welcome to you guys in the room. And now we're going to move over to Zoom. We'll go ahead with staff first, and then for our community partners and guests.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Charles Brown with the Workforce Development Board. Good morning, Garyana Youngblood, ORJ.
Good morning, Michelle Elizondo, Program Coordinator, ORJ. Glad to be here.
Good morning, Janet Evans, Lead Reentry Transition Specialist, Office of Education.
Jamie Jeanette with Health, Housing, and Homeless Services.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Alexandria, Interfaith Juvenile and Tay Chaplain with the Spiritual Care Department. All counties.
Thank you. Ms. Owens? I'm not sure she's on mute. Okay, well, if you'd like to introduce yourself as we go on, just raise your hand and we will introduce yourself. So we're now going to go ahead and move on to our announcements. So we'll go ahead and start with CAB members, the announcements.
No announcements for me.
I just have two announcements. I brought some flyers. I joined the Continuum of Care Partner Meeting today. And so there is a health and wellness event that's going to take place in Bay Point. So I have the flyer here. And then I wasn't sure if everyone was aware of the updates to 211, the new dispatch system on the new numbers that you dial for depending on what you're looking for, if it's reentry, if it's health, or whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to print those two things out and have them here for individuals if you like that information. Any other announcements? Okay. So moving from CAB members, any staff announcements? So go ahead.
Yes, I have an announcement. Unfortunately, we received notification that Reverend Julius Van Hook will be resigning from CAB effective today. That's all the announcements I have.
And we will now move to any comments for individuals in the room.
The Reentry Success Center is excited to announce and remind everyone that we are hosting our annual block party Friday, July 26th from 10 to 3. I see there's some flyers available at the front. We're looking to have all of our partners, community partners, tabling, sharing programs and services with all in attendance. In addition to food, music, fun, it's not only for our community members, there will also be any fun for the family and just everyone. So we really hope to invite everyone who could benefit from the community fund services and all of our partners as well. So feel free to connect anyone to the event or reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Any announcements on Zoom? No. Okay, so move right along. Our next agenda item is public comment for any items under the jurisdiction of the Community Advisory Board and not on this agenda. See none in the room. Are there any on Zoom? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move to agenda item number 3, which is the approval of the record of action from our Thursday, May 9th CAB General Meeting, which is attachment number 1, pages 5 through 8. Thank you, Gary. We can go ahead and pull that up. And take a second for us all to review. Also in your packet, I'll be looking for review it first and see if there's any discussion within the CAB members. Can we make it?
Let me read that. Want me to do it with the mouse?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna use the mouse anyway because I'm short. So. Any discussion or questions in reference to the agenda from our May 9th meeting? Public? Have a motion?
Being no more, I call for a motion to approve the minutes from the May 9th general meeting.
Thank you. Second.
This is Latanya Thompson. I second the motion.
Garyana, did you get that? Can you do a roll call vote for me?
Nicole Green,
Aye.
Brenda Lee,
Aye.
Raina Moore,
Aye.
Latanya Thompson,
Aye.
Renee Hurley,
Aye.
Jeffrey Robinson, Marcus DeWall.
I wasn't at the meeting, so I'll abstain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 yeses, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, so moving right along, we're going to go ahead and move to agenda item number 4. So I'm really excited. We're going to discuss our 2-cab applications for our new memberships to be considered for approval by the CCP. It's on attachment 2, page 9 through 19. So we're going to open up this discussion here. I believe we have Tiffany in the room, and we have Alexandria Spearman online. Not sure if you all had a chance to read it before the meeting today, but I wanted to first give the members a second to kind of look at the review what's in the packet, and then we can open it up to allow both of them to give, one by one feedback on why they would like to join, any questions that you all may have. So I'm gonna give everyone a second to kind of review first, and then we'll start off with Tiffany, and then we'll go to Alexandria. Second to kind of look it over. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started with Ms. Tiffany. I'm so excited to see that you will come. I know Tiffany very well, and excited to see that you would like to be part of the board. So I'll go ahead and open it up to let you introduce yourself and anything that you want to add that's on the application, and then open up for the committee members to address any questions they may have.
Great. Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Tiffany, and first and foremost, I am a mother of 2 children. I am a resident of East Contra Costa County, and our programs cover county-wide. While I spend a majority of my time in West Contra Costa County, and I'm the site manager for the Reentry Success Center. I have personal passion for reentry services, and of course, my work is aligned with my passion as well. I get to do what I love on a daily basis, and I'm very interested in getting more involved with the Community Advisory Board. I have been attending for some time now, and I would like to learn more and just get more involved with teams and the work across the county, and just learn more about some of the other programs, services, and policies through the work and throughout the county.
Choose from the board members. No?
We gotta have some questions.
No one have any questions?
No, OCEC, we interviewed her. We're ready. We want her to come on board.
I mean, is there anything that you like to share from OCEC?
No, we were very impressed with her. You know, all the questions that we asked, she answered them very forthright, let us know where she was and where she wanted to be. So we were very impressed with her.
And from my personal experience, I definitely agree. I don't feel like she added enough to her resume on her experiences, but know her for a very long time. Been heavily involved within the reentry population and just embedded into the services, even from East County all the way to West. So, ready to keep ahead. I think it's gonna be a great addition, so.
I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, so I don't have any personal questions, but I'll go around. Any questions?
Me as well, like all of the work you do, office right across the street from, you're interested, so I always hear great things about you.
So I already feel like she one of us.
Right.
But I'm just happy and excited. Not only because of your professional experience, but your personal experience. And then having a voice in the community, especially one of Latino. As you all know, and I get
Yes.
emotional when I say this, the presentation that we had last year in regards to the resources and having a voice and making sure that someone who's been in the system, on the side of the system, can bridge the gap and help us have a better understanding and help us find resources so that every person is provided the same opportunity regardless of language barrier. But having someone who has been in there and talks about the impact that it has, the trauma that you go through, and then identifying that it goes back to your youth and as a child. And so now we have resources for those that are incarcerated, but looking at the bigger picture as far as the family and how it impacts their children. And we've also looked at the pipeline and knowing that at the age, like at 8, 9, they already know if they're headed towards prison. And so I feel like you have a lot of value to add. I'm also impressed with the time that you've already invested in it. And so I'm looking forward to you rolling up your sleeve and sitting at this side of the table. I don't have any questions. I'm impressed. I would have never knew your story had you not shared your story because you're polished. So we get to see the results of what is possible. The success of the story, and then someone coming back and giving back and, peer-to-peer and all the other programs. We often see those that are incarcerated, they tend to open up and go deeper.
Right.
When they see someone that they can identify with,
Correct.
when they hear a story that's similar to them, it gives them hope when the system may not provide them the hope that they need. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
And just pin that as well, because I think at the end we should ask them to come back because there's a lot of updates to the people that's done the presentation. Jeffrey, any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I'm at a second agency where I've been in partnership agency you work for. And I've seen you from like where I met you to where you're at now in your current position. And I think that the passion you have for this population translate really well into what we do here at CAB. And so I'm more than willing to vote that you be part of CAB.
Yes. Jeffrey? Renee, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions, but the fact that she's been involved with reentry for 9 years, that I was told right there, this is what she does, this is her passion, this is her life, this is who she is. So I think she did great,
Thank you.
Thank you.
No questions, comment. I do have, obviously, I'm new to the community advisory board, but it sounds like you bring a whole lot of experience and knowledge. So look forward to, I'm assuming that you're gonna be put onto the CAB. So I look forward to working with you and getting to know you.
Thank you. Look forward to getting to know you.
No more questions by the committee members at all. Is there any questions by the public or anyone on Zoom? Okay, we're going to move over to Miss Alexandria Spearman. Very excited to have you here. We've been waiting to see you. So, same process for you. I want to, allow if there's anything that you want to add that is not in your application, you'd like to share with the committee. I know that we've met you and heard you speak before, and the OC had did their interview with you. So I'm very excited that you're here. So I'll give you a floor to share anything with us that you would like for us to know.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm also very excited this morning. I was going to say my excitement level is a 10, but I'll keep my expression to a 7. But it seems like everybody's expression's on 10, so I'll stick with that. Yes. I'm very excited to be here, see you all, and to work with CAB. I'm a resident of West County. I'm new resident to West County, and so I'm very excited to just get to know the population and all that. I don't think I have anything other to say. I look forward to what's to come. Deep breaths, because I'm just, CAB and OCEC really is just a continuation of what I've always done and what I always do. So I'm excited about the work that you all do, and I just would love to be a part of it. Mhm.
I'm very
Amen.
excited to have you here. So we're going to start the same way we did, but go around this way. I don't foresee have any questions, but I will give my comment in reference to what I'm excited about. I have a big heart for the Tay population, 18 to 24, 25. And a lot of things that we talk about in our room here is when we talk about CAB, I know they're considered adults, but really focus on adults and be able to have that lens around, juvenile hall and those individuals that go into the adult system, and because they get forgotten sometimes, right? They're still babies. So to be able to hear that perspective of what you see, because we deal with them a lot within all of our programs, because at that time they're 18 or adults, right? So I'm excited to hear that perspective of it for that age group, and then just also to have that experience that you're bringing here with your background, your leadership. I think it's going to be a great addition to our table. So it wasn't really more of a question, but just more of excitement. So thank you for being here. And I'm going to go to the right this time.
I share the folks' sentiments and everything. I'm really happy that you applied and everything. For representation for the K population, as Nicole had said. Thank you for applying. Thank you for the work you do in the community.
Thank you.
Hello, Alexandria. I've asked you so many questions the first time. I'm gonna let other people ask questions, but I'm very impressed with you, and I'm so happy that you're bringing a younger perspective. Like Nicole said, we tend to deal with adults, we're thinking like 21 or whatever.
Right.
But if we hit them when they're younger and get them the resources, that's gonna help, prevent them from going through the pipeline. So like I told you before, I am glad you're coming on board.
And
Yeah.
as you were saying, to add on, one key thing is, I know our chair wants to uplift to bring more youth to our board.
Yes.
So I'm already giving you, it has to go to CCP first, but
Like that young.
bring more to the board.
Yes.
Pass it down to you.
Thank you for the application. I was impressed by your experience. Personally, I very much worked a lot in the past with Alan Temple. And so I'm aware of all the great work that's being done, in Alameda County and Oakland, and looking forward to getting to know you and doing work here in Contra Costa County.
Mhm. Yes.
Hello, Alexandria. Looking over this, I really like the fact that you're working with youth, because young people need guidance. I've been a hair person for over 30 years, and a lot of them have sat in my chair. And if they don't get that direction at a young age, they're in trouble.
Yes.
So I'm really, really impressed with that.
Thank you.
Yes. 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 I'm very passionate about that because I can see it so clearly and have been able to. Excuse me.
Oh, I just want to say good morning, and as no longer the newest member on the CAB, I see the time, the energy, and the effort that it takes to be a part of this board, and I just commend you for volunteering, because I think it's important that people do volunteer and be a part of things like the CAB, and I just commend you for actually putting yourself out there and making yourself available to the board and to the community that you'll be helping to serve. So I just commend you and thank you for applying, and hopefully becoming a part of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Save us last one.
So I want to say, I'm impressed with what I've read about you. I'm also impressed that I've had the opportunity to meet you in person when you, actually showed up at one of our meetings. And then I had the opportunity to meet you outside of this environment. And the same enthusiasm that you have today, you have outside in your personal life. And so we were actually in the nail shop and we spent over an hour talking about the work that we do in the community and the value. I'm also impressed with the work that you do with the juvenile as well as with the faith-based. And with the news that we received earlier, I feel like the timing is perfect. And I feel like we're not losing the history because I know that the information education has been passed on to you. And so I feel like we can continue the race and just pass the baton. And we're gonna make you the anchor because we believe that you're gonna finish the race for us. But I'm excited about who you are as a person, and that this is not just something that you do at Beats, but it's a life that you live. And so I'm excited for the opportunity to have become family and for all that you bring. Thank you.
Oh,
So we
that's
welcome
so
you with
sweet.
open arms. Gary, I believe this is a voting item, correct? Okay, so
That
now,
that is correct.
okay, perfect. Okay, so we're now going to vote, so I'll pass it over to you.
Yes, so how does the body want to move forward? Do you want to move forward with 2 applicants? Then that would be the motion. I propose to move forward with Alexandra Spearman and Tiffany Anaya to go before the CCP for full body approval, or did you want to do one at a time? How did you want to do it?
This is the one.
Okay, so I need a motion.
I'm sorry, I forgot that step. So, sorry, you guys, I'm new to this. So can I have a motion to move both Tiffany Anaya and Alexandria Spearman applications to the CCP meeting, next CCP meeting?
Move that we move both young ladies, Tiffany and Alexandria, to CCP for approval.
Awesome. Can I have a second?
Jeffrey Robinson, I second that motion.
Thank you. Go ahead, Gary Hanna.
All right, Nicole Green,
Aye.
Brenda Lee,
Aye.
Raina Moore,
Aye.
Latanya Thompson,
Aye.
Renee Hurley, Jeffrey Robinson, and Marcus DeWall.
Aye.
Motion carries. Tiffany and Reverend Alexander Spearman, I'll send you next step.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. All right, so moving right along. The next item on the agenda is the update on our county social media policy. This is something that our chair wanted to review for all. So it's in attachment 3, pages 20 through 33. We can go to where the PowerPoint is. I think we left off last time, having discussion and understanding what the limitations were around being able to post information about the CAP on social media. And I believe today we were supposed to look over I guess, go through the process of looking at the Brown Act and the laws and policies in place around that. And Gary, I don't know if you have the notes. I know that Patricia's want to go over some items with us, and I know she has a meeting right now. So I feel more entitled to kind of ping this because I'm not sure exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these are just reference docs that we received from the clerk of the board because the body is interested in developing like a social media page. However, there seems to be like a challenge with developing a social media page for this body because we don't want to run into any Brown Acts. So we're not sure if it's possible for the CAB to have their own social media page. But there are ways for you to like spread awareness or to get your messages out there using other social media pages throughout the county.
Even if we don't have our own social media page, are we allowed to post on our own page? Like if there's announcements that go out about CAB that we want to share within the community?
I believe so, but I can follow up with Patrice. And we also had a hand raised.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hi,
That's you.
guys. So I staff the Council on Homelessness, which is also an advisory board, and we're under the umbrella of health services. And what we've done, because we run into the same challenge, and so one of the things that we figured out is when there are things that we need to, that we want to amplify. So like when we have open seats and we're recruiting for members, or we have other things we want to get out to the community, we work with, our department is called CEI, Community Education and Information. So I don't know, you guys may already have like connections with whoever sort of like runs the county social media or the county communication stuff. Or I don't know if the probation department has their own. So we haven't been able to have our own, mostly because it like, you also have to like manage it and make sure there's not people like with putting really inappropriate comments and all that stuff. But we have used existing county approved social media channels to get our stuff out that way. So just you may have already be doing that or thinking about that, but just we've had the same challenge.
Well, thank you for that. I do believe at one of our meetings, and correct me if I'm wrong, Patrice did say that there is like a county, there is a department within the probation that does all of the yes. Yeah, okay.
We have a countywide one, and then many departments have their own. So a few things on the posting on your own page, you certainly can push stuff out. What I would do is, because I know on social media, you can post it, no comments allowed.
Okay.
That's one way you can do it, because really the issue is if you put it out there and other members of CAB comment on it, that's.
Okay, okay.
So that's the biggest issue. And then of course, members of the public and stuff, and people have the right to free speech, you can't do comments. So if it gets complex, there's opportunity for a records request. So that's really super challenging. That's why it's, like the 5 supervisors, they all send out newsletters.
Right.
Get messages out. Most of them have Nextdoor, Twitter accounts, and all the rest. They can push it out. The public information officers are a great way to do it. Countywide announcement that goes out. So those are the ways to really push the message out there. Somebody personally who you would like to have, you could share information with people personally.
So I think, for me, and we can definitely reconfirm what the chair is looking at the what you said, PIO?
Yeah, public
Okay.
information. That's what they're commonly called.
So I already switched the letters around, so the PIO. And looking at those channels that we currently have, I know that RJ, you guys send out that newsletter. We already did our flyer for CAB, so just looking at what we have in place. And I think the other part is really identifying what is it that we want to share. I don't think that we really buckle down and say, what are we trying to get out there? I know that one of the first key things was trying to get individuals to sign up for the CAB membership was one, so we get more individuals interested. And then the other one was to inform the community about it, because a lot of community members don't know that we exist as well. So I know those were like the two main things. So I guess it's more discussion about what other ways can we get it out without using it online, like through our CBOs and through the flyers that RJ already sent out and the channels that are already. But go ahead.
We've also asked the members of the CCP. Some of those are a lot of circles and have their own meetings, right? So I don't think you all have asked the CCP for some time, like already really push this.
I know it's been like said at the meetings, but I don't think it's been like directly asked from the CAB members at all.
Jill, can you repeat that? We had a hard time hearing over Zoom.
I'm sorry, I was suggesting, the CCP members to do direct ask of the CCP members to put it out there. Since some of them are elected and some of them represent departments or department heads. But they certainly can push it out there.
The comments from board members?
I know at one point we talked about like partnering with churches and libraries, just about the resources that we provide. So that people are aware of like what service we provide. If they have someone that's incarcerated or recently released from jail, that we have these resources.
Our library system is really our unofficial, like, system.
Okay.
Many people touch our library system that may not touch our other systems. It's a great resource to get information out there. And they're happy to do it. So reaching out to the county library with a direct ask.
I know back to the thing, that what you did mention in reference to churches and libraries, that was something that I know that Ozzy was working on with OCEC, so I'm not sure if you want to give if anything was done on that about the churches and.
Well, seeing as he wasn't at our last meeting, I think we tabled it.
Okay.
Meeting for our chairperson before we,
Okay.
any further, so.
You want to be the vice chair?
No, I'm the reporter. But I'll be next time. No, we did, we tabled it because he had started, the process.
Right.
Working with, an organization that listed hundreds of, different, churches and denominations. And he got us the list, but that's as far as it went, so we didn't get any further. We discussed it, but, we have the issue that because of the way a lot of religious organizations are set up, there's a hierarchy that you have to go through.
Right.
And so we were like, okay, well, we can't just walk in there. You have to know who to talk to get your, get it across. So. New groundbreaking experience for us.
Do we currently have the list or does the only one that had access to the list, or was it shared with the whole committee?
I think I got a copy of it from.
Okay.
I think I did get a copy of it from him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like 105 or something like that. So, yeah.
Table that, and I think another area that can be, not to add more to them, we just found out today, but in reference to like reaching out to county libraries and that is a part of outreach as well. So I'll just pin it as an item there, but at least I can give her some feedback when she returns in that area. Any other questions or comments from committee members for discussion? Anyone in the room? Are there any hands raised on Zoom?
See everyone? Is that everyone?
Is that everyone, Gariana? I don't think I can see everybody. It stops at Michelle. Oh, it goes to the
Okay.
top. Okay.
No hands on Zoom.
Okay. So since there's no other discussion around this item, took away some notes from here, we're going to move over to item number 6 on the agenda, which is to review, discuss reports from CAP subcommittee and external meetings. So the first one that we have is Ross.
Oh,
I'm like, it's either you or Virginia. Okay. I'm like, I don't want to just call you out. I'm like,
Okay. An item that I felt was of interest and might want to, this body might want to look into it because you all have been talking about this through the allocation of funds is on May 14th. There was it's an item 127. And it was approval of the Sheriff Work Alternative Program, which has been operating since 1983. And it works with various cities and East Bay Regional Park District around the county. And I know there was one of the things that came back to CAB was the human resources aspect ask. And so that might be a good thing to look at to see how they model it and how to do that with their agreements. And then on May 21st, the Board of Supervisors did accept the final budget, which includes the CCP budget that you all participated in. And consent item 45, I just wanted to highlight that the BART Police contracted to receive policing the training. Brain training, is what I'm saying. And so that's just super exciting that BART Police is participating in that as well. And then the Juvenile Justice Committee or council, coordinating council just received the presentation on traffic stops for youth in the county. They went and they pulled this data down from the state, and it's just a really great opportunity to sort of have a baseline and then see how this policing team brain has worked, you know, if we're good in another year, see what the data looks like then. And then they're going to share it with the Police Chiefs Association and everything, so they're aware of it. They can see the data, the traffic stops, and how it's working down. So.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. So we'll go ahead and move over to the CCP meeting. Jill gave a little, I'm not sure if you guys picked up on what she said, but she said also approved our budget. So that goes right into our CCP meeting that we had. The Policy and Budget Committee did the presentation for all of our recommendations. Our four key priorities around the AB19 excess funds. And so as of right now, the two priorities that will move forward is priority 1 and priority 2. Priority 1, which is for the housing, and then priority 2, which is for behavioral health. The other two priorities in reference to employment and pre and post release, there is some additional research that needs to be done. For priority 3 around the employment aspect of the pilot working with HR. As she mentioned, there are other things that are being done within the community that we want to gather more information. As a pilot like that, what I brought from that meeting has been structured before. So it's really looking at that information, who would actually spearhead that, who will be the responsible agency to handle that pilot. So we're going to do a little bit more research. What's going to go back to policy and budget to do part 2, which is to provide additional information and dig into that a little bit more. To bring back, and also around the amount that was allocated for it. In reference to pre and post release, the number one thing that stood out was the GI pilot. Although it was lifted up, there's more research needs to be done around it. The I always say it wrong, is it EHSD?
No, that's right.
Okay, EHSD also have experience in doing a pilot for G. So one of the things that was uplifted, like the cap, is part of the conversation. So the board of at the PPC meeting, they also agreed with that as well. So we'll be working hand in hand with, or being a part, not hand in hand, but being a part in the conversation with EHSD to be at the table when they're discussing GI, to figure out like what population, how is it going to look, what is the structure of it, because we want to ensure that it's going to be it's not, we're going to ensure it's going to be a good pilot, right? To ensure that we know who, what part of the reentry population do we want to focus on first to ensure that it has a positive outcome when we deal with this. So we want to take feedback from what has already been done, look at the kind of populations that we have, what is the best way to structure that. So I was really happy that Kat will be able to be a part of that at the table, be part of that discussion. As well as a couple of things that was uplifted. I was really glad to hear from CCP was around the women's program, that the money that was allocated there should be increased. It wasn't enough. And so there's more research around that, looking into our current program. I know the GMA Project provides information about their program and other programs that are touching women's programs. So that's why, so it wasn't a no. We just did not want to hold back on moving forward with the funding. So we just moved forward with those first two, and then we're going to do some more research, and we have a deadline. Just so you can know, and Jeffrey, we now have a deadline to do additional research around priority 3 and priority 4 and bring back that information back to CCP and PPC. So if you do get an opportunity and you want to learn more, like I don't want to go into too much and run the clock down, come to the policy and budget meeting and you'll hear more in detail about what took place at that meeting. Is there anything else I missed at the meeting that
So
was?
I would just, to wrap that up, that was excellent.
Okay.
You should just say that all of the recommended funding for 1 and 2 was granted and approved. and
Okay,
Went onto the board, and then the other funding is being held for the deeper dive.
thank you.
So it's not going away, it's still earmarked for that. Any questions about that?
What is that deadline?
I don't have it in, let me look at my notes.
October.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
We still have time.
The,
But-
the
So,
EHSD presentation on guaranteed income, or whatever we're gonna call that, is in September. And so I think that will help clarify sort of what to do with that pot of funds.
we'll have more discussion at the policy and budget, meeting, more deeper discussion into it.
Gotcha.
Any questions about the CCP meeting? Jump right to the PPC meeting. I kind of combined the two, so forgive me, but at the PPC meeting, one of the highlights was the presentation by the chief in reference to what I just discussed at the CCP meeting. Is there any other important items from PPC that I should uplift, Jill? But that's the only note that I made.
No, the Office of Sheriff was on there with an old referral for regarding their participation in federal immigration, and they have asked that to be pulled since they do the Truth Act part every year. So
Okay.
they'll go back to the and report to something that they do every year to the public. So, and there was some discussion about making that meeting at a different time that the board, the chair of the board can decide.
And Gary, I apologize. I didn't ask you if anyone on Zoom had any questions or any.
No, there's no questions on Zoom.
Okay. Move right along to AOD. The AOD meeting for May was canceled, so I don't have any updates for that. The meeting for June is going to reside. If you are able to join that meeting, I recommend it. There's going to be some great presentations. And there's a lot of stuff coming up from AOD. So that is going to be June 26th at 4:00. The next one is Measure X Cab. Ozzy usually gives an update for that. I don't have any updates on that, but I will. Jill, do you have any updates or anything you want to uplift for Measure X?
They are planning a retreat, which is patterned after your retreat, because your retreat is so phenomenally well done. And so they have that coming up this summer. And then the Measure X Fiscal Oversight Committee met for the first time last week. So that's the body that will make sure that those funds are being, they'll do an overview of ensuring that those funds are being spent as allocated.
Any questions from committee members? And nothing from the public. Got you behind too. Okay. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and move to our report outs. The first one is the outreach and community engagement subcommittee. Since we just found out from Reverend Brenda, I was going to ask if you don't mind reading.
Oh, no, yeah, I got it.
Okay, so so Ms. Brenda's going to read it for me. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
And that's attachment 4, page 34, 35.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so outreach community subcommittee, we met May 21st, 2024. The meeting was called to order by our CAB chair, Carter. We had one absentee, Reverend Van Hook. There were no announcements. There were no comments on any item under the jurisdiction of the agenda, not on this agenda. We have the approval of minutes of the April 16th, 2024 OCEC subcommittee. The motion to approve by Brenda Lee, seconded by Ozzie Carter. Motion was carried. Review applicants for new membership with the CAB full body. That was Tiffany. How do you pronounce that?
Anyway.
Anaya, okay. And Reverend Alexandra Spearman. A motion to consider for approval to the full CAB body of the two was approved by Brenda Lee and seconded by Ozzie Carter. Okay, OCEC subcommittee work plan. Tabled it until the subcommittee chair involved. Items and responsibilities individuals needed updating and faith-based organization questions. The ambassador guide schedule was discussed, but not part of the work plan. We also had a discussion on the mini summit and the agenda for the mini summit. ORJ and CAB chair to work on the agenda. The keynote speakers were Jeffrey and Rena, we were told. So our next steps were to revisit the work plan, discuss the items completed, update the goals and responsible individual priorities of the work plan, develop a schedule for the ambassador meetings, and also update the work plan. That's our meeting.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna move on now to.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
One more, sorry.
yeah, next to close session.
Okay, there's the part. Our part of our next steps was how to get faith-based organizations on board. And also another discussion about the AB 109 mini summit agenda. Meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you. So now we're gonna go ahead and move over to Programs and Services Subcommittee, Attachment 5, parts and page 36. Move over to Latanya.
Thank you. So we met on Thursday, May 16th, from 11 to 12:30. Some of the discussion on feedback process was for the in-custody survey. We're going to extend the amount of time doing survey so that we have more participation. We also had agreed that this time we would focus on the women population. Since there was only one, we want to get more of an idea of what is needed. The survey is currently available in English and Spanish. And we talked about doing it via tablet as well as pencil and paper. If it is time consuming to get it on the tablet, then we'll move forward just so that we can have data for this year. We also talked about scheduling meetings. So the first meeting with the CBO providers would be just a meet and greet to begin to know who they are, to establish a relationship before we actually schedule our on-site visit where we can finalize our question. So our next meeting on next Thursday, what we're doing is actually reviewing the presentations that was done last year, coming up with questions. We'll have those questions next week. We'll finalize them, and then we can move forward with actually scheduling our on-site visits. ORJ is going to email committee members in custody service in regards to the current survey. It needs to be multiple choice and not just open-ended questions. We'll get feedback in revision. And we're going to draft a description of service provided in-house by CBO providers versus what is referred out. And then our next meeting will be on next Thursday. Our next meeting will be on next Thursday, June 20th at 11 a.m.
So moving on for policy and budget, we did not have a main meeting because we deserved a break. So our next meeting is in June. I believe it's June 19th. June 21st, sorry.
Yeah.
June 21st at 11 o'clock is our next meeting. Okay, so we're going to now move over to Council and Homeless, and I'm gonna turn it over to Rena Moore.
So, the council on homelessness meeting was on June 6th at, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. At the meeting, they, discussed the point in time count results. There was 2,843 people experiencing homelessness on a given night in Contra Costa County. Last year, there was 2,372. So there's a 19% increase. And there's a link for the data results and everything. At the meeting, they also gave funding updates, Measure X recommendations for the June 4th, 2024 Board of Supervisors agenda. There have been 16 applicants. And then they also did a state legislative budget plan, or they shared the state legislative budget plan that was released. That's linked to the budget plan if you like to look at it. And then coordinated presentation as well. That's the link to the agenda packet. So part of what Nicole had shared with us as well. And then the next council on homelessness meeting is on July 11th. Did I forget it?
No, and we don't want to overwhelm you with paper, so I definitely recommend if you get an opportunity to go back and click on the links, especially with the board presentation is a full PowerPoint. Part had grown. If you haven't had a chance to join the Council of Homeless, I know we have a whole bunch of meetings and different things to join. I think it's I always recommend to go because you learn about the different opportunities and programs that are coming within the county. And you just also learn about the structure, like it helped educate me about the funding and how H3 is modeled. And to better help us understand how we can help our individuals. So highly recommend people join if they're able to. And then if there's anything that you would like to be shared, because also sit on that board or have her uplift at the meeting for CAB, just definitely let her know. They are opening up the floor to, to be able to have those type of updates the same way that we have here. And Jamie is here, so thank you. So if we missed anything that you may want to add that you think is important, I definitely open the floor for you to do so. You're good? Okay.
No, you guys totally covered it.
Okay, awesome. So definitely just click on the link when you get a chance. And if there's no dumb question, if there's a question that me and her can't answer, I will bring it back to the Council of Homeless and definitely ask her to join yourself. All right, so now we are over to next steps.
Yeah, I have a few next steps for the body, and if I missed something, please, Nicole, let me know. You're going to reach out to the county library because it's a great way to get information out. We're going to review faith-based organizations list. We're going to identify what we want to share in terms of like our social media, and looking at the different channels that are already within the county that we can use to share what the CAB wants and also spread awareness. And I think that's all I had. Did I miss anything?
Nope, that is, oh, yes, well, no, that's what I have after what we talked about, but I do want to pin to invite the corporate recovery back to give an update on their Latinx program.
Gotcha.
And just to add to you all, if you would like to hear from them again, they will be at the AOD Programs and Services meeting, which is on June 24th at 4 o'clock. They will be doing a presentation. So that's also a space if you'd like to hear more of what they do. Okay, nope, that's all I have. Anybody, did we miss anything? Because those are the same next steps that I have. We're good to go?
On the bottom, it says public protection Monday, July 25th. If you meet the first Monday of the month, sorry, Anna, and I don't know where that July 25th date came from.
Sorry, say that again.
The Public Protection Committee meeting on the bottom of the agenda, you have July 25th, you meet the first Monday of the month.
Yeah, sorry, the PPC meeting for June. Yeah, the meeting in July got canceled. So when's the next
Right,
one?
That July 25th wouldn't be a real date anyway.
Yeah.
For PPC. It's always the first Monday of the month, so the next one is the first Monday in August.
Okay, sounds good. I'll make the edit. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you. Well then, we finished quite early today, didn't we? So, I mean, if since there's nothing else, we can go ahead and adjourn really early today at 11:17. So I will adjourn to the next CAB general meeting, July 11th at 10 a.m. Thank you, everybody, for joining.